Hi, everybody. You got to see like the last nanosecond of the intro, so let's run it again. Okay, now I'm in the mood. I needed that other nanosecond of intro to be able to get on here with everything. So welcome, everybody. It's Friday night. It's the Cool Crone Oracle, and I have my friends with me to be able to do some readings for you tonight, which I'm very excited to do. As if everybody doesn't already know this, I did go to Watertown, New York to see the eclipse, and it was amazing. It was cloudy. And I did one short. I tried to upload another short and another and another and another, and they all failed because Mercury retrograde. So my daughter said, send them anyway. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the moment has passed, but I got a lot of views on that first one. So
good.
Maybe I will. But it was funny because if you put on your eclipse glasses and looked up at the sun, it blocked out all the clouds and you saw an itty bitty little sun, which was cool. But you couldn't really tell how much of the eclipse had come to pass. It just still looked like a round disc until right as it went exact. I had my glasses on, I was watching it, and you could see the little ka-ching, and it went in, and it was just like, oh my God. It was like, and everybody in the park just kind of went, oh.
Yeah.
And I think we all sat there going, for the whole 3.5 minutes, because before you know it, it moved out and everybody went, oh.
Yep. I missed it.
Yeah. And so 3.5 minutes went like that because everybody was just kind of dumbfounded. But you could see the actual eclipse, especially if you put on the eclipse glasses during that exact moment. And it was wacky. I mean, seeing that kind of zing into place was just like amazing. Yeah. And the birds, I took videos of the birds because for the about half hour leading up to the main part of the eclipse, which was really when it started to happen, was about a half hour, about 45 minutes before. The birds, and these were not tiny birds in this park for some reason, they were seagulls. I think there's a lot of waterways up there because this is right on the Canadian border. And these seagulls, first of all, were mammoth. They were gigantic birds. I don't know what they put in the water up there, but they were very, very large. And they didn't land in the trees. Now, there were trees all over the park. We were on top of a mountain, Garrett Mountain in Thompson Park. And these seagulls were just flying around crazy, crazy, crazy. They wouldn't land in the trees. They would land on anything but the trees. They would land on the picnic benches. They would land on statues. They would land on, there was a big, tall light pole. They would land up there. In fact, I took a video of these two seagulls who seemed to be kind of coaching the rest of the seagulls. Two of them were together and they would yell in unison at all the other birds. It was they're just like rah, rah, rah. You know, I was like,
illegal, don't
Right. But the birds just went bananas. They didn't like that energy. It was just weird. And there were several different shifts of energy. Once as we were going up to the park, that was a kind of the beginning of the change of the energy from like it's a normal day to something extraordinary is going to happen. And then we got up to the park and the people kind of settled in, and there was really two bodies of people. Those of us that were really at the very top of the mountain for some reason, where they had a couple of food trucks and they had a live band, but the live band was facing away from us. So I guess we were kind of like backstage, but this was really a great place to be. It wasn't crowded. Most of the people were like my age. So I guess this was the retirement village of the eclipse attendants. And I think we got the best of it because you could go up to the food truck or where they were selling t-shirts and there wasn't a huge line or anything like that. And everybody was very polite and happy and nice to one another. And I mean, there were families up there too with their kids. It wasn't all, walkers and canes, but it was just really pleasant. It was really, really pleasant. Going down the face of the mountain, which was a very gentle incline, all grassy out into a big grassy field, packed with younger people, just packed, like a Woodstock kind of thing, right? And so we just didn't go there. But the energy changed about 45 minutes before the eclipse again.
Mhm.
And people started to get like kind of hunkered down. Like this is where I'm
Yeah.
going to the eclipse.
Mhm.
And they were a lot more like the little groups were like in connection with one another. And then, of course, I described when the eclipse actually happened, how everybody reacted. And then when it was over, it was just so mellow. You know, it wasn't like, oh, the band stopped playing, so let's all run for the exits. It wasn't like that at all. It was just like, okay, well, let's clean up our mess and let's fold up our chairs and let's get going. And just really polite. We waited for like two waves of people to leave, and then we went because I didn't want to have to walk around for a million miles. But it was really nice, and I think Watertown was a good choice for us because they were planning on 150,000 people coming there.
Mm.
I don't even think they had 40,000 people. It
Oh.
was really nice. It was not super crowded.
Mhm.
They had plenty of people to help and keep things safe, and they were organized, and people at the hotel knew what was going on. They had nice shuttle services. I mean, it was really nice, and they had some pretty good restaurants too. So thanks, Watertown. We had a great time. Thanks very much. Yeah,
Great.
so it was good. So that's my little spiel on the eclipse. I don't have to talk about that anymore. But the glasses were cool. I mean, they really worked. I've used them before, but this was just, I looked forward to this so much. I was so excited to do this. And it was really, really a nice little vacay for our tiny little family. And it was really a nice experience in general for everybody. I couldn't believe how much my kids were into it. I was like,
Nice.
finally, finally, you're into this stuff. They're way into
It's
it. Yeah.
good parenting. Finally kicking in.
Yes.
Yeah, a while, but it finally kicked in. So let's see who we have here in the comments. Oh, we have a few people here. Oh,
And I
good.
have 13 questions starred. And Carol, I have your questions starred.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's up with you guys? Anybody? Anything?
I did. We had the eclipse. We were at about 98.9 or 99% totality. So I did put some, I did some magic, put out some water to create some eclipse water, and I charged a couple of decks. I did not charge any crystals because all of my crystals were like, we've been through eclipses before. This is nothing for us. So I listened to the crystals. So
Very good.
So
Very good.
yeah. Yes, teacher Barbara, I did get your question.
Val, what did you do?
Oh, my husband was a party pooper, and he said, seen one, seen them all. He didn't care. He said we didn't have any glasses or anything. And I had an Akashic record reading right from the time, just as the eclipse was starting to the whole entire time I was reading. So, and it was only 70% where I'm at. So I couldn't have seen, that much, but, I felt the energies. They were intense. Let's put it that way for me, just before I went into the reading with someone, and I felt them that way. Just as energy, an energy force hitting me. Let's put it that way.
And how about after? I know a lot of people felt that afterwards they were really feeling sort of like a reaction to it.
Yeah, the reaction is kind of discombobulated, a feeling of being out of sorts, not quite your normal self, because it's like shaking up all that stuff you're going to get rid of. And you're like going to coalesce and come back together as a whole different, format.
Yeah.
And I don't know how else to say it, but yes, this is what's happening.
Yeah, really, really. Yeah, definitely felt that too. Hey, Cleo, did you do anything?
You're muted.
I am?
No. Cleo, you're muted.
In Seattle, we have a 20% viewing, and of course, we saw beautiful clouds, and it was nice and gray. Didn't ever see the sun, let alone an eclipse. I guess some people did travel. I don't know if they went to Eastern Washington or wherever they went, but they did see, they claimed they saw something. They might have just been imagining things, because in Washington, really, you didn't see anything. I didn't feel anything. Actually, I was just looking at the clock and I thought, oh, I guess the eclipse already happened.
Yeah.
Maybe I ought to look it up on the internet.
Yeah, I think where you were at, there wasn't very much that you could see, but the fact that it happened across the United States is significant, because wherever, and this is true for anything astrological, if you can see the planet, if you can see that fixed star, it's affecting you, and it's affecting you right then, whether or not it hits a super sensitive part of your chart or not. If it does hit a super sensitive part, then it gets really an experience, an event, or an opportunity or something. But just seeing it is bound to bring in some kind of experience. And I was really glad I went, because this actually hit some pretty sensitive parts of my chart. And I felt like if I just stayed home and pretended like it wasn't happening, that would have been bad.
Well, my Aries is in my 9th house. What would that do as far as shaking up?
That's what you were doing, doing readings and
my philosophy, my spirituality.
Exactly, because the 9th house is really you taking your beliefs outside of your childhood beliefs that were taught to you and experiencing them as an adult, which causes most people to make other choices. It's also the belief systems that affect large groups of people, things like the internet, the outer space, philosophies, foreign countries, foreign cultures, things like that. So when the eclipse is hitting that part of your chart, it sort of gives kind of a supercharge to a whole bunch of stuff. But there's other planets in there too that are difficult. Perhaps it depends on your chart, but I wanted to roll with it, not against it.
Yeah,
because all of them were hitting me. All of them were hitting my chart, so I wanted to roll with it. So, and Marina, how about you?
Nothing. Honestly, it was a beautiful, clear, sunny day. And I kept thinking, okay, well, judging by the time, this is when it should hit. And it should, from past eclipses that I've seen, it should start to get a little darker. So I was busy on my computer working, and I kept checking, and it didn't seem to change. And I thought, well, I know where I am, and I'm just a little east of Cleo. So I knew that, we were not in the path. If anything, we were going to get a little bit, and that was it. And so I kept waiting and waiting until I looked at the clock, and I went, oh, I guess it's over. Okay. And that was it. It wasn't until later on that evening that I was doing a show with Allie, and just before the show, I started to get a headache, and I thought, okay, well, maybe that's kind of a little bit of the leftover, but no, there wasn't a whole lot. So I did what Cleo did. I went on the TV, and it was like, show me the eclipse. And when I was watching it, when it hit totality, watching it was the same as I think maybe being there. So I went, oh, wow.
Right. Yeah.
Imagine thousands of years ago being on Earth and something like that happening.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know what it was, no wonder there's so many stories and things that go along with it.
Yeah, I mean, even this eclipse, all the scare stories and the stories connected to religious acts and stuff, it's not complete nonsense, because it's actually tied to the astrological meanings of a lot of these things. I mean, Mars and Saturn are both in Pisces, the sign of religion and deep spirituality. So I'm not surprised that there were a lot of people who had fear, which is Saturn, and anger, which is Mars, about this eclipse. It's just kind of that kind of makes sense. But again, if you're not seeing it, if it's not hitting your part of the country, you're probably not going to be too affected by it. However, Texas had the October eclipse from last fall and this eclipse cross over it both times,
and they needed it.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, Texas. Oof.
And
Okay.
and no one in my neighborhood was raptured that I could tell.
Okay.
So I was a little disappointed. I was
Yes.
hoping to get a brand new car, a car driving down the street, somebody raptured.
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
How do you know if somebody's been raptured?
Well, apparently they leave, but they get raptured without clothing, apparently.
Oh,
They're apparently lifted up and all that stuff. I didn't see any. So, but again, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Is it like that show, The Leftovers?
Could be.
Could be.
That was a good show.
Yeah, yeah. I would hope that I would be in a very expensive boutique store when that happened.
yes.
And the salespeople would disappear and I would go, I'll get that in my size in that one. Oh, I want that in red. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. All right. Well, Gerald, what do you suggest? We have a few starred questions here. We should get going.
We only have 18 starred.
Only.
So only
How are we going to get to all that?
So yeah, so I would say we're going to pause the questions, everybody.
Mhm.
And no, Froxy Roxy, I didn't see you running naked in the street.
Oh, well,
So
gotta have video or it didn't happen. If it's not on video, it didn't happen.
Oh, that was her?
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't recognize you.
nice ass, I gotta say.
That's an angle that I don't usually see.
There you go.
So we have the first three readings. We have our Sparkles, Mickey, Steve Watts, and then Jana. Did you want to divide people up?
Yeah, I think that we should probably do maybe 2 people per question. Kind
I
of do
think
that
that
kind
works.
of thing.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So we'll do Val and Cleo first, if that's okay. I don't know why I always start on that side. Most people go from left to right. I'm going from right to left. What's wrong with me?
Nothing.
Because I'm interested in that question, so I'm glad you took.
Yeah.
Okay. So going along with your overall theory, Cleo, it's just your guides correcting my guides and telling them where I should put my thoughts.
There you go.
It's a big
My
deal.
guides are constantly controlling you. I don't know if you understood that or not. But
I do. I do.
It's you because you're my sister.
Yeah.
My guides are always, they use you to get things across to me. And I just tell them to manipulate you in my best interest.
And that's my whole purpose in life anyway. So,
There you go. Wow.
Oh,
all right. Oh, so we should read this out. Thank you to my guides of any messages that can help with my anxiety and fears.
That's me and Val, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So Sparkles, they're really telling you to step back from everything. Get a better perspective, because what they're asking you to do is really unhook from everything around you in terms of this rhetoric and things you might hear on the news, dramas, whatever is going on. That is just not going to be something you're going to want to put your awareness on. They want you to go within and be calm and know that everything is going to be okay. They're asking you to align yourself with your higher self in that peaceful, calm place. When you are coming from your soul, and I like to think of it right in your heart, but it's really everywhere, but you can think of yourself as going into your heart, feeling your energy there and connecting. And that way you're going to create that connection of peace, calm, and serenity. Be at peace, all is well. This is your mantra from now on. Be at peace, all is well. Cleo?
Well, the cards I got don't apply. So, Sparkles, I am a person that has dealt with a lot of anxiety and fears. And when my guides came around, one thing I have found that I can do anyway is I just tell them out loud what's going on. Like, I've got something coming up that's bugging me, and so I just tell them about it. And somehow, some way, just by talking to them, even though there's nobody there, but it's it's within. It's just super helpful, just letting that go and just let your guides handle it. Your guides can handle all that anxiety and fear, and you just turn it over to something else and turn it over to them is what I'm saying to do. And you wonder if your guides are in on this. They definitely are. This is nothing new to them. They've got billions of people that are talking to them about their fears and anxiety. That is just so common. And they want you to talk to them about it. And the more you do that, you'll see over time. It's just like anytime something comes up, you can just put it out there to them and they will ease your mind. It's amazing. So that's what I do. I hope that helps.
Wow. Great readings, guys.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So the next question is Steve Watts, and put it up here. And this one will go to Marina and Gerald. So may I please have some guidance on romance for me? There's someone I've recently met who I can't get out of my thoughts. Mickey XX heart, 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 heart.
Can I just say real quick to Sparkles? She wrote, "Thank you. I always ask my guides for help and I thank them and do talk to them about it." You're doing the right stuff then. But just believe that you can turn it over. You can hand it to somebody else. I don't want this fear and anxiety. Just give it to somebody else. Your guides will take care of it. You're doing the right stuff, Sparkles. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so Mickey, I am getting that this is someone that you have had a past with, and you've kind of both of you, I think, are conscious of the other person's energy. I think that they're feeling it the same thing, and your goal now is to kind of take considerate action. To look forward, to reach out to this person, and even if you were to ask them, are you getting some weird feeling? Because I feel like there's a connection that for some reason, and I don't normally advise something like that because I think that in this day and age we tend to be careful, but in this case I'm getting that you should take some conscious steps and maybe reach out to this person and say, I'm feeling a connection. Are you feeling the same thing? And it feels like it's creation, an expression of a new soul or something new coming in. So yeah, goes against advice that I would normally give, but not my job to interpret. So yeah.
So Mickey, I got the Ace of Pentacles, which is the start of something good. I got the Six of Swords, which is a transition, moving from one side to another, knocking down the obstacles, going to something new. And then I got the King of Pentacles. We started with the Pentacle. We end with the King of Pentacles. And I think it's very interesting because under the Six of Swords, which is a great transition card. I don't know if you haven't dated for a while, but this feels very comforting. This person could be helpful for transitioning. But under that is the Two of Cups. Hello. If it's not the one, it's certainly the one for now. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Yes. Moving from one to another. And underneath the King of Pentacles, not really underneath, but, supporting the King of Pentacles is the Page of Wands. So this could be the start of something quite lovely, quite lovely. If you can't get them out of your thoughts, I say hi, invite them out for a cup of coffee, go somewhere public, just get to know each other, just get used to it. And I think that's great. It feels really good. I will say one of the funny things is I saw it somewhere on social media. It's they don't call them a sugar daddy, they call them the King of Pentacles.
Nice.
Very nice.
So there you go, Mickey. Thank you.
Great. So, Val, you and I are going to take Jana, and I'll put her question up. And then Cleo and Marina, if you could take Teacher Barbara, that would be great. So Jana says, hello, I don't know if my guides are beyond my sphere of light or have they been in charge? Okay.
Jana, I see that you are going to be receiving deeper insights. And so your connection with your guides is becoming more pronounced. So if you take some time during the day, just some quiet time to check in and ask your guides some questions, you're going to start hearing some answers. So are they in charge? No, you're in charge. You're the one who is driving your vehicle. And it's up to you to listen to the cues of, is this, breadcrumb for me? Am I walking the direction that is going to be in my best and highest good? And this is where talking to your guides really comes in handy, because you can really check in with them and get great insight. But it looks like that's going to be happening for you. You are going to, and hence the question. It's perfect timing because you are opening up. So give yourself that time. You're going to manifest what you need. So start taking 5 minutes a day. Sit down and talk to your guides out loud.
Good advice. So I felt similar things. I want to add, I think, everybody has a different way of connecting to the higher realms. Everybody's a little bit different. You may have been connecting and just not understanding the messages you're getting. For instance, maybe you're not hearing the messages. Maybe you just have a knowing. That's something that is pretty strong in me. And it's a hard thing to trust because you just think it's your imagination. You just think you're making it up. Now, I do have a really good imagination, but I'm not making this stuff up. So sometimes you have to learn how to trust what that is, and you also have to learn how to decipher what the messages are. You may feel things you may smell things, or you may see signs or symbols. You may see feathers on the ground, or, the numbers in different places, or you could see dragonflies, or you could see, there's different ways that you get messages. So what I pulled a few cards too, because this was getting a little confusing for me, but I think that your decision to hone this ability is really important. And that's what Val's talking about, is making a concerted effort to not be too random about it, but to really make a decision that today I'm going to take 5 minutes in the morning sometime and maybe 5 minutes in the afternoon or evening, and really talk to my guides, ask them some questions, and then just allow those messages to come back. And I say allow because you're not going to dictate how they connect back with you. You're going to accept what they give you and then try to decipher it. And that's the journey until you get really more comfortable with that communication. You've got some nice cards here. This can be the beginning of a really nice journey for you, and a feeling of, I'm going to say, vindication, because you do know that you have psychic abilities and you have been known to make a few predictions here and there, but you yourself don't quite trust it. So now you're going to make this concerted almost study of what your abilities are, and then you'll be able to trust it quite well. The oracle card that I pulled for you is Earth Star Activation, Anchoring and Grounded Energy, Isis energy. Isis is my gal too. And what you want to do is, make sure that those chakras are aligned, and then do a little digging on the Google machine about other more of the chakra system. So there's the 7 in your body, but there's a whole bunch that are not in your body. I'll just leave it at that, and you'll do your own research. But that's where you're going to go with this. Yes, you're going to be grounded, but you're also going to be sending energy way up into your Earth star. And that's where I think that's where you're going to begin to really make friends and connect with certain guides. You're going to have a lot of guides in your life, but the Earth star activation, I think, is going to help you connect with this Isis energy, which is maybe something that you resonate already with. And this will take it further. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So then we go on to Teacher Barbara. And that's going to be Cleo and Marina. May I have a reading? So polite. May I have a reading? That's so
Yes,
nice.
absolutely. Okay. Well, I did pull some cards and was kind of contemplating them. I got the Mystic, I got the Seeker, and I also got the Hermit. So what I'm getting here, and the message is, you already have the information that you need. You're looking for validation. There is no validation. What came to mind was that phrase about, to the believer, no proof is necessary. To the unbeliever, no proof is enough. Okay. So you are already, you already have the abilities to kind of intuit things. You know how things are going to go. It's just, don't concentrate too much on getting that immediate validation that yes, you're absolutely right. Do it in faith. Do it because this is what I feel. This is what I think is going to happen, and move forward with that. You could always contemplate it later on with the Hermit, and maybe, go kind of internal, but do things on faith. Believe that it is going to happen, and it is going to happen. You do have that mystic ability, so allow that to come through. That's what I got.
Well, Teacher Barbara, I got something similar. It's to believe in yourself and to believe in yourself and to believe in your dreams. And I think that kind of goes along with what Marina was talking about. But I also see something a little bit different for you, that you've been given an opportunity to begin again. Now, anytime they're calling it a fresh start. It could also feel like a rebirth. And that you, in order to get to this point, you need to stay in the present and don't go to past experiences or things that have happened in the past that might color the opportunity that's coming to you right now with this fresh start. Really, the cards I got for you are really nice. I don't think you have any problem believing in yourself, and so look forward to something new and fulfilling, I guess, in this fresh start that you have going on. So there you go. That's what I have. Good.
Nice. Very nice. So, Gerald, I'm going to jump the queue a little bit and give you and I this question by Imelda.
Okay.
Because she said she'd already had a reading with Marina and Val, so this will work out. You and I can read her. And then Val and Cleo, if you can take the ADUP question, and then we'll come back around to Marina and Gerald to do Jenny Berlin. So you're on the hot seat, Gerald. Okay, so Imelda needs a little reading from us.
Well, of course, Imelda. Okay. Imelda, part of what's happening, Imelda, right now is you're spending a bit too much time thinking about the past. I have the Six of Cups, which
Nope.
is a nice card about family and nostalgia. But it feels very much like you're spending too much time thinking about what was instead of what is, because we go from the Six of Cups to the Four of Cups, which is the card of when you're feeling meh, you're being meh, and you're missing the things. So this card says to me, be careful spending too much time here, Imelda. And when you are feeling a little bit like you're stuck, like you're just going to press play on the next video, instead of doing that, do something to get your perspective different. I have the hanged man. Feels like you need to just get up and move a little bit before you start watching that. And I'm also curious as to you've got a lot of emotions that are going on, and are you recognizing those and are you honoring those? Because that's really very important. So this is a lot of cups in this reading. So a lot of emotion, Imelda. So I hope that is helping you. And it just feels like get out of the rut a little bit. And I don't know if you're in a rut, but move around, move your body a little bit to give yourself permission. So there you go. So thank you, Imelda. So that's what I have for you. Yes, try to talk myself out of doing that. Okay. Just started getting out of it this week, actually. Good for you. Very good.
Okay, sorry for all my moving around, but what I was getting for Imelda was angels, and I didn't have any angel cards. But I did throw some other cards, and what I'm feeling here, Imelda, is a feeling of one day you feel like you have everything, and the next day you feel like you have nothing. So you literally feel like you're spinning around on the wheel of fortune, like you just can't stop. You just can't really settle in on what do I think about what my life is and what's going on now and what can I do? And the answer is to connect to your angels. Another card that I pulled for you was the Venusian Galactic Council, Star Being Guides, Answer the Call, Time to Shine. So maybe you're sitting on the couch because you should be meditating. Maybe that's what you're doing on the couch. Maybe you're not getting up and moving, which would be helpful. But if you're gonna be sitting, do something important, for yourself. Oh, there goes my cat moving everything. Kitty, this is not gonna work. No, this is not good. But anyway, so let me pull the angel card and then I'll deal with my kitty who is bumping over everything. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, here we go. All right, so the angel card that I pulled for you is Archangel Raphael. I'm helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. And it's very common, I think, for people who are healers to have some particular issue, that they have to heal from. And that helps them move on to understand what it's like to need healing and have compassion for those who need healing. But also it gives them a very personal bird's eye view of what effect healers can have on people. So they become their own, a unique healer. And that may be what's out there for you, Imelda. So angels are not the only thing that you can connect with. Obviously, the Venusian, what was it again? Kitty, get off. The Venusian Galactic Council. New friend group. Okay. So you might try a little meditation, see if you can connect with the Venusian Galactic Council, see if you can connect to Archangel Raphael. I'm sure you can. Basically, if you just say, Archangel Raphael, I need you, he's there, or she's there, or they're there. So just try just try. Little meditation, little trying, connecting with your guides, even if you feel like it's your imagination and you're making it up. I finally got a way to get this kitty out of here.
And Colleen, Imelda said, just I've been praying to him.
Good.
So
Good.
that's great.
Yeah. So that's really great. And I also got another card. This, I've never heard of this angel before, and I've had this deck for years, so that's kind of amazing. Zana, Zanna. And this says, you are protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. So if that is stopping you from doing anything, feeling a lack of safety, call upon Angel Zana and be reassured that you are safe. So you're physically safe, you're spiritually safe, you're emotionally safe, and that Archangel Raphael is there to help you heal. So I think you have some homework there, Imelda. I love giving people homework. But anyway, I hope that was helpful. Okay, so who's next? What did I say?
Deb, Val, and Cleo.
Cleo, right? Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Deb, you wanted to ask a question about your lawsuit against your former employer. Should you go forward with it? You absolutely should, but this is not legal advice. So be your own counsel on this for entertainment purposes only. They're showing you have just calm your mind down, get stable and balanced. Have patience. This is going to take a little bit of time, but all these cards are yes. So really your state of mind, your positivity is going to play a big role. And you are going to receive some compensation from this. And here's the sun showing that great outcome. You finally got the High Priestess. That is really using your knowledge, your intuition to make sure you tell your attorney exactly what they need to know to frame the framework of what happened to you so that they can present it in a way that you are shown to be an innocent victim. Well, no, we don't like victim. No, I mean, victim isn't good. But to show that you were wrongfully treated or whatever that shows up, there are no victims. We are powerful beings. But you definitely want them to know that in some way, shape, or form you were mistreated. It was not in alignment with what you were doing there, and whether you were let go or whatever it was that happened, something wasn't right about it, because all these cards point to yes. I hope that helps.
And Adab, I feel the same way. I feel like it is something that you should go through with. However, it can be any kind of a lawsuit. It's just draining experience. And you do have to have all your ducks in a row, and the law is so unemotional. So if it's based on an emotional grievance, you might have trouble with that. But if you get a good attorney that can explain things, which you would want to know which way is this going to go, win or lose. How can we do this? So your attorney or a paralegal or somebody, you need to talk to those people a lot about this before you want to invest all your time into it, because it does take forever. The law works so slow, but I do feel like your grievance is valid, and I'm not, I don't know what that grievance is, but it does feel like it's valid. It does feel like you can do this if you want to, if you're ready to commit to that kind of time. But it's also another thing that you keep in mind, that it is a draining experience. and sometimes you really have to keep on top of your attorney to get stuff done, because you may have a talk with an attorney and think, okay, let's go. And then you're waiting and waiting going, why haven't you submitted something? Where's your briefs? You have to, so keep that in mind too. You have to stay on top of the person that's working this for you. You definitely have to have an attorney. Don't try to do it yourself. And, but I do think you have a valid grievance. And I think if you get all the right people going, I think it will be to your benefit to do this. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of emotional stuff, because if you invest too much, if I got to win this, don't go into it that way. Go into it. Let's clear this up. And not invest emotionally into it so much, because it does take forever and you have to depend on other people to get the work done.
That's why you need that temperance, that balance card, that maintain that. You want to be absolutely have the patience to last, because like Cleo said, those are all factors. You've got to factor in the staying power, but don't have a lot of your expectation on the outcome, because that really is not where you need to focus.
Right. Perfect. Yeah. So, hey, good luck on that.
Yeah.
Great. So we'll move on to Jenny Berlin, and that's going to be for Marina and Gerald.
Perfect.
And while we're waiting for Marina and Gerald to get their cards and everything in order, I'm just going to say, anybody that needs a little inspiration and faith, you can always pray to Pete Buttigieg with your own personal Pete Buttigieg Saint candle. he's a very enlightened being. Good old Pete of the burning heart. I don't know. Maybe that's a bleeding heart for a bleeding heart liberal. I don't know, but he sure is darn cute. And it just says Saint Pete Buttigieg, and yes, I got it on Amazon. Okay,
Right on.
You can buy these stickers for the candles a lot cheaper than the whole candle, and I would advise doing that, and then just slapping it on any old candle that you get at the store. But
Yeah.
I couldn't wait, so I bought the whole shebang. And yeah, Pete is lit in my altar daily, and can't tell you what kind of miracles he's brought.
Nice. Nice. Did you want to go, Gerald?
Sure, I can go. And Carol, you did not miss your message. Okay, so Jenny, I have the Empress for you. You've got something that you're working on, that you're planning, that you're giving your energy to, because you want this to grow. And it's not just a little thing. It's something larger than your immediate circle. It feels maybe something that's going to benefit your extended family, but this is a really powerful card, especially at this time of the year when we're coming into Beltane, when there's a lot of fertility and a lot of emerging energy. Really, really powerful. And that's matched with the 10 of Pentacles.
Oh, nice.
Going to be really, really successful. So that's why I'm also thinking it might be extended family or your neighborhood. But it even gets better. We have the 9 of Cups. You're really, really going to enjoy this. This is going to fill you emotionally in ways that you haven't been filled in a while. You're going to feel this great connection. It's going to bring you great pleasure and satisfaction for having done it. It's just going to fill up your well, which has been, frankly, running a little bit dry. The word of advice from the Sacred Destiny card is simplicity. Do not overcomplicate it. Just allow it to float, allow it to go, and do pay attention. Pay attention to these floating little gifts from heaven that are going to show up and make it even more enjoyable. So, I mean, that's like, woo, good for you, Jenny.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. Nice.
It's like,
absolutely. I think I very, very much concur. I pulled from the Mystical Sisters, and I got the Luna Moth Goddess, and her message is one metamorphosis and natural transformation. So I think that what you're going through right now are changes. You're seeing what works, what doesn't work. It feels like you're deciding kind of like, okay, who's in the tribe, who's out of the tribe, and you're kind of making those decisions, because there are people that are part of your circle that do tend to exhibit a little bit of Eris personality, which is a little bit of turmoil, discord, people that just aren't, they're just not quite meshing with the rest of your tribe. Okay, so I think that the transformation that you're going through and what you're ultimately kind of ending up with is the Lilith, and that is the self-actualization. It is empathy. You're spiritually, you're growing, and you're able to well, again, I go back to it's like you're deciding who's in and who's not, and you're it's not like you don't have any emotion in terms of letting some people go. You're letting them go with lots of love and light, but you're just realizing that they're not serving your highest good, and that there are the other part of your tribe, the people that are remaining. This is Matcha, and she's the protector of the home. She's the protector of the the protector and the defender of the home. So your tribe is your home, and you're looking after those people that are in there. And it's funny that Gerald said about the feathers, because in this card, if you notice, there's birds, and they're just the way that they're flying. It looks like they're just feathers that are falling down. So
we cannot make this stuff up.
Yes. Yeah. So be the protector, be the defender of the home. Your efforts are going to bear fruit. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you. And thank you, Jenny, for the question.
Yes.
Okay, so Val and I are going to take Sarah Perez, and then Cleo and Marina will do BD, and then Gerald and I will do Bebo. Okay, so hello everyone. How will my finance be for this year? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. They keep showing me money, but it looks like, yeah. Right now, this looks like there's some things that are happening in your life and around you you're not appreciating in the full way that you can, by way of gratitude every morning when you get up and what you see in front of you. You have a lot of bounty. And so getting in that mindset of gratitude would be a great thing to do in bringing forward all of this abundance for yourself. And here is the Queen of Swords to help you, because this is about someone who has sharp mental acuity and can really bring in exactly the clarity of thought of what you want to bring forward. And along with that, what's going to help is someone outside of your, or even someone in your family, can help kind of direct you into a situation where you're looking at things in a different way now, maybe seeing things from a perspective of a more grounded way of bringing money, more prosperity in, because I see you expanding your horizons from that and looking at what you can bring in a different way. And I really think that you're going to have some kind of transformation coming in. I see a lot of they were showing me tons of pentacles, but this is your journey to get to those pentacles. So gratitude, really get clarity of mind and cut through all the baloney and get to the core of what you want, because your mind has the ability to bring it in, your positive mindset. And listen to those around you who could bring you really good insights into really grounding it into reality and creating something. And you're going to expand and, blossom, and some good things are going to come forward. So I see a prosperous year when you go through these steps. I hope that helps.
Great. Great. So I have something a little bit different. I have you're feeling vulnerable right now. You're feeling a little bit like you don't want everybody to see what's going on with you. So there's a feeling of keeping secrets, and then different secrets, and maybe you're keeping other people's secrets. And so it's just a feeling of vulnerability. And I equate vulnerability with insecurity, and I equate insecurity with lack of money. So if you're like me, then that lack of money kind of makes you feel more vulnerable. And that may be where you're at right now. I agree with Val that there is some sort of a transformation that's due to take place this year. And I believe that when you can go within and trust yourself, trust your messages, trust your own intuition, you will release yourself from the prison of that insecurity. Because what I'm seeing right now is that you feel trapped. There's a cycle going on that you need to break, and you don't know how to break it. Well, it's all within you. All the answers are within you. And it's not going to be, I think in this year, it's not going to be terribly hard for you to break it. It doesn't take a big, superhuman act to break this cycle. What it does take is a little bit of discipline, a little bit of saying, I'm going to really focus on maybe going within, maybe connecting with my higher self, maybe trusting my intuition, maybe trying to listen to my guides. Whatever it is, it's an internal transformation that's going to go on. And this is kind of the big deal that you're here for in this lifetime. There's a bunch of stuff that once you believe that you are it, you don't have to prove it to anybody. You don't have to take another class. You don't have to, earn a certain salary to be the most important person in your life, and to be a trustworthy person, and to be a secure person, and to have everything that you want. So I know that's kind of a tall order, but I think this is the year that you're going to do it. And believe me, just starting with baby steps of just, that decision that I made yesterday, that was a good decision. The decision to stop on my way home from work and fill up the car with gas, that was a good decision. My decision to take my lunches all week because I don't know how much money I'm going to have next weekend, that was a good decision. Just begin trusting your decisions in small ways, and pretty soon you'll be trusting them in larger ways. And all the time that you're doing those little decisions, take time out to connect to your higher self, to your guides and angels, to your galactic guides. Literally, Sarah, whoever will listen to you. Just talk to them, and you'll start getting messages back from them. And that, although that's really going within, that is what is going to free you and break these bonds that you feel, this prison that you feel that you're in, because it's of your own making. And so you have the power to break it. So yeah, that's what I have. Good luck. I hope that helps. Okay, so let's see. We're on to BD. And okay, why have I felt blocked for a number of years? Thank you.
Who's this? Who's reading this?
You and Marina.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Did I not say who was doing them? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't. I think I spaced out Val. I didn't hear Val answer the question you guys were talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she did.
Okay. Why have I felt blocked for a number of years? You know, I feel BD. I feel a heaviness around you. So I understand that you definitely do feel blocked, but you need to the blockage. I don't know if it's for yourself, if you're concerned for yourself, or if you're concerned for others. I kind of get a feeling like you've been concerned about others. I don't know if it's a health situation or a financial situation, but you're worried about somebody else, and that is definitely affecting you and making you feel blocked and making this just a heaviness. You're carrying so much stuff on your shoulders that you don't need to, because having that feeling and going through that process is not going to solve the problem. And in order to get unblocked, you need to get freed up. So you need to just change your thinking about whatever it is that's kind of bringing you down, wearing on your mind, of whether it's you or somebody else. I do feel like it's possibly both, but definitely there's somebody else out there that you're feeling very concerned about. So if you can let that go and focus more on yourself, of just the feeling good and peaceful about things, but also giving to not necessarily this person you're worried about, but just giving of yourself to others, that in itself will help you lighten up. It can just be a small thing, just helping somebody out, or listening to somebody else, doing something like that, so you kind of get out of your own head, get out of your own head, get out of your own way. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Get out of your own way, and then things lighten up, and you can, if this blockage has been going on for a long time, which apparently it has, several years, you need to just let that go. You can't change it by worrying about something and stressing yourself out and blocking yourself, because stress is a big blocking problem for everybody, and sometimes you just tend to hold on to it. You don't mean to. And I do see, once you do this, and once you figure out who it is you're worried about, or why this is on your mind so much, that you can just let it go, you feel free. You just feel free, and then you can deal with the situation much better once you've removed that fear and concern and worry about whatever it is on your mind. And I don't know if I explained that well at all, but
you did. You explained that really well.
Okay, good, because I think that will help. So, Marina, what do you got?
Yeah. What I start off with the Gypsy Queen, and she is all about karma and self-assessment. So it feels to me like the reason that there are blockages is, or at least you feel that there's blockages, is that you're not really putting enough value on yourself. You're allowing someone else to determine what your value is. And intuitively, you know that that's not right. So you are kind of, you are doing that self-assessment where you're thinking, well, am I, aren't I? You're kind of going back and forth. And anytime that you're not paying attention to what it is that your higher self is telling you, which is no, what you're hearing about yourself isn't true. It's coming from that other person's perspective. And when you're not listening to that, it's the universe just reconfirms the blockage, right? It's like you manifest what you believe. So if you're not really listening to your higher self, and you're telling your higher self that no, it's, I'm experiencing this blockage, and it has been going on for quite some time. What the universe hears is, oh, she wants to experience blockage on a yearly basis. So I do agree with Cleo in that a change in the perspective of your thinking. If you're hearing someone say things about you that are not true, that they don't sit right, you have a right to express that and say, no, that's not true. That may have been true in the past. It's not true now. And I think once you kind of realize that you have people around you who are supportive of you, the people that I would consider as being part of your coven here, is that's when you're going to get your a good insight into what your purpose, what your motivation is. And your motivation is to move forward, to be creative, to kind of be like the sisterhood of the Silk Road. And this is all about wanderlust travel. This is all about learning, doing things that bring you good fortune, being fortunate in the things that you have. So I think that, this is a karmic lesson in learning to kind of be your own best advocate, and to say, no, that does not ring true with me. It may have in the past, it doesn't anymore. So speak your truth, girlfriend.
Nice.
That's what I got.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing to the general audience? It's just something that I have used. If you're feeling stuck, no matter what the reasons are, no matter what they are, because they can be deep, like Marina and Cleo have pointed out. But if you want to just shake it up and stir up the energy to get it broken up a little bit, go upstairs in your closet and take a lot of those clothes you don't wear down to the thrift store and donate them. Go into your bookshelf and get rid of all those old books you don't read anymore, because more knowledge will come to you, more things. So go through your house, all the knickknackies, take food that you're not eating out of the pantry and give it to the food banks in your neighborhood. This is going to shake up so much energy, because the universe abhors a vacuum. It's going to suck in so many good things coming your way. So, if you're feeling stuck, that's just my quick fix. It hasn't solved the other stuff, but it will break it up. Break up the pattern.
Into bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, make it bite-sized.
Great advice, Val. Great advice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for your answers on that. Now, let me go back up here. The next question is going to be me and Gerald, and then I was going to say we're past an hour, so I don't think we're going to get all of these questions answered. But if we could make maybe Carol Lamb's question the last one, because I know she was really anxious to get her question answered. So it'll be me and Gerald for Bebo, and then if Val and Cleo can do Carol Lamb. How's that? Does that sound right for everybody?
Well, and then maybe if Marina wants to help Val and I out on that too.
Okay, very good. All right. So Gerald, here we go. Here is Bebo. And I've been shuffling on this, and I want to say, now she's saying, if you could read on this for me, please. If I move back to my home state, will everything work out for me? Thank you. Well, it's pretty broad to ask that everything works out for you. I really hope that it does, but let's be realistic here. This is life on Earth that we're talking about. But I gotta say, you got some really good cards. I don't know if this is imminent or not, but once you start actually taking steps to do the move, wrapping things up in the state you're currently in and then starting up things in the next state, it's going to go fast. It's going to be a pretty quick move because I think you've basically made the decision to do it. If you want a job, there's a job waiting for you. If you have a partner and that partner is somebody who's good with money, they're going to be happy with the move. If you're single, then you're going to be fine with your money. So I've got security, I've got working with others. So there's some sort of a plan of maybe old friends or something, or maybe you can get back into a situation of where you had employment before, or maybe this is a volunteer group. I don't know. But your lifestyle there when you move back is going to feel very comfortable and it's going to be very healthy for you. There's a lifestyle there for you that is really much better than the lifestyle that you're in now. So that's just one of you probably have a million other reasons why you wanted to move back. But that's just yet another one. And the Oracle card that I pulled for you is Karmic Board Clearing, Energetic Clearing, Rewrite Your Story, Live Your Truth. So perhaps this is an opportunity to, I don't know how many years it's been since you were in in your home state, but you're a different person probably now when you're moving back, and people will probably assume that you're the same person. So this is your chance to set your boundaries, present yourself the way you want to be presented in your most current form, to achieve and work towards goals that perhaps you were unable to work towards when you lived there before. But lots of possibilities are there. So resist the temptation to slip back into old habits and old lifestyles and old relationships that are not terribly productive for you now, and use this as an opportunity to um, be your authentic self, live your authentic life, even though you're in a very, very comfortable, familiar environment. And I'm sure that I know maybe I dreamed this, but I drove through a town that I hadn't been in for a very long time, and I realized that it had been probably more than 5 years since I'd driven through that town. And then I was surprised that, like, oh, there's a new gas station and there's a new drugstore and there's a new, shopping center. Of course, these things change all over the place. You change too. So you don't have to be the same old when you go back to your state. And I think you should go. It looks like a really good move, health-wise, money-wise, and just karma-wise. So go for it.
And I have to say, Colleen, I have a lot of similar cards, slightly different positions, because part of what you're doing is you're standing your ground so that you can start making the steps to do this. You're making sure that you are keeping your money in order so that the move can be as comfortable as possible. And that's an important thing. That's what you're doing. The environment that you're creating is one of definitely taking new actions and new ways of thinking about yourself and who you are now. Because I have the Page of Swords with the Three of Wands.
Nice.
So it's a nice blend of those two cards. The thing that you need to avoid is depending on other people to help you do it, because they're not going to quite understand. The people where you live now like you and appreciate you. They are going to miss you. So understand that some people may, but with that in mind, what's really important for you to solve is how are you going to remove the things that are preventing you from being happy where you are? Because remove those, because you don't want to take those with you energetically, so that it's a beautiful and fresh start. I have the death card with that, so it's definitely a transformation. And it feels very, very, it feels very solid, especially because as Colleen said, you've been thinking about this for a while, and now you're starting to put that in action and manifesting it. So be thoughtful of how you manifest it, not just what you're doing here, but understand why you're doing them here for when you get there. Because in the transition, it's going, anytime you move, you uproot yourself. It can be a complete and utter cluster. It can be very overwhelming. You knew what I was going to say, Val, and I didn't. So, however, here's the thing to remember, and Bibo, I have the Queen of Cups. This is someone who is looking within herself. She's looking into that cup, but look at her face. She is pleased with what she sees. She's content. She's happy. It's helping her third eye open. So I think it's good. And the Oracle card that I got for you is Purification. I mean, this is great. This is quite beautiful. So there you go. Thanks, Bibo.
Great. And then I guess all of you, or Val and Marina, and there's Cleo, will do Carol Lamb's question.
Yeah. So, Carol, I have, I can see how some of these things, I think you've had your feelings hurt, and probably some things have sort of happened in the last few days to make you feel bad in general. But don't be so hard on yourself. Keep your heart open to yourself and appreciate yourself for everything that you do every day. And really what's really happening is your vibration is rising, and you're just a little bit out of sorts, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but none of it feels good. So they're just telling you, just maintain the focus that you've always had on all the great positive things. Let go of all those shitty things that have happened to you. Just let them go. Let them roll off your back like a duck's back, and listen to the whispers within, that beautiful voice of your guides, because they are cheerleading you this whole way like crazy. Your vibration is rising and you're manifesting like crazy. This is the truth. So no matter how, crummy the last few days have been, this is what's really happening. So, you're going to be great. You're doing great. Keep the focus. Let go of what happened and listen to your guides. They're talking like crazy to you. And so congratulations. I hope that helps.
And Carol, I've got to totally agree with Val. You just, you're being too hard on yourself. I mean, something has not gone the way you expected in the last few days. And you're trying to take it all on yourself. You don't need to do that. You need to be more compassionate towards yourself, more loving towards yourself, and just realize, it was a bummer. It was a bummer, but you're going to get through whatever it was. And it's a good thing that you are a positive person, because I know that you can understand what I'm saying to you about just don't be so hard on yourself, and things are going to clear up. Plus, this is a weird Mercury retrograde right now. Mm-hmm. It's one of those times where it's just a tougher Mercury retrograde for everybody. So that might be adding to the crap that's going on in the last few days.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Carol, it's going to clear up, and you've got all the tools it takes to get beyond this stuff, and just be more loving and compassionate towards yourself, and things are going to get better. Things are going to get better for everybody, but just know that it's not just you having some crappy days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? Sometimes having a crappy day is necessary to remind us of how blessed we really are. Because sometimes we tend to forget. Things are going really, really well, and we start off being very grateful, and then we anticipate that all is going to go well, and we forget, even with our best intentions, to say, I'm grateful, to say thank you. So sometimes a crappy day comes along just to remind us that that's what we need to do. What I got for you was, and this is from the Starseed Oracle, was star bathing. And that is all about light body, that is about transmission, activation, and so on. So I do agree with Val that your vibration is rising. I also got the void, and the void is asking you to just stop and embrace where you are right now. Don't put out any expectations. Just embrace where you are right now, and know that it's going to be okay. You don't need to know how, when, where. Just stay in that sort of that cosmic womb and say, no, it's going to be fine.
There we go.
Because ultimately you're looking for the cosmic heart. And what that is about, it's about devotion, it's about potency, it's about making your life a moving prayer, a living prayer. You want to be the guiding light for someone else. So just remember, sometimes a bad day is just a bad day. It's not a sign of anything other than that. We are in retrograde, so that is going to mess with your emotions, and it's going to mess with the way that things go. Allow yourself to step back from it and say, okay, well, you know what? I'm taking the day off. Today, I'm just going to do me. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to read a good book. I'm going to paint my toes. I'm going to eat chocolate, and that's it. So, yeah, I hope that resonates, Carol.
And Carol says that it's family legal stuff, which makes me stay in 3D and messes with my meditations.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol, boy, I totally understand what you're talking about. And it's really hard to remove yourself from that, because especially if you've got attorneys involved in legal stuff, because you can only do so much, and you've read the law, and and whatever it is you're talking about, you're right. And you can't figure out why these other people can't just step in and say, yeah, this is the way it should go. But that's the law,
Mm-hmm.
And so the best thing to do with that is I feel like you put as much into this, much thought and research into it as possible. So now that you've done that, let it go for just a while, just a few hours even. Give yourself a break on this, because legal stuff just is, you'll be ripping your hair out. I mean, it just makes you crazy. So hang in there.
Yeah.
Be grateful you are not facing court on Monday, like some people we know.
Oh, yes.
That's true.
Yeah. There you
Great.
go.
Okay, well, thank you for all those wonderful answers. And I'm just going to toss my cat over here. There she goes. Okay.
He's getting ready, folks. He's getting ready. He's going to do it.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Just being a cat.
Oh, okay.
Look at the way Colleen's looking at me. It's like, quit it, Gerald. So now I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm trying to, be a good pet owner and not just, smack her and throw her across the room. But
Oh,
because she's not doing really anything wrong per se. She's just messing up my camera, so I can't really be mad at her. But
It's all good.
Yeah, don't smack kitties.
no, well, these cats I could never even get
Yeah.
reach because they're all over the place and old. But this was good. These were a good bunch of readings. Thank
They
you
were
guys very much.
Great readings,
They're
and a
really-
lot of readings that are general enough that I saw people in
Yes.
chat talking
Mhm.
about I'll take that, or that resonates
Mhm.
with me.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
love doing readings like this.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Which reminds me that we have another show that's going to be coming up at the end of this month that also will be doing readings for people that they just might want to check out. So let me just play the little trailer for that.
Yes.
Do it.
Get ready to receive the knowledge. We know before you ask because we are the real psychics of YouTube. Who are the real psychics of YouTube? What's the matter? Don't know because you're not psychic? That's okay. The real psychics of YouTube are psychic enough for all of you. This is where we answer questions before you even know what they are, and the answers will blow your mind. Get ready for another episode of The Real Psychics of YouTube.
Yay.
Oh, yay. So that's going to be premiering April 20th. So everybody mark your calendars, and it's going to be really fun. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit tongue in cheek, but the readings will be real.
Yep.
So I
Yes.
hope everybody will tune in for that.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so wow, this is great. This has been a very nice, relaxed show. I really enjoyed this. I loved looking at all the comments. They're really nice comments. It's great.
Yes.
And thank you for letting me blab on about my experience with the solar eclipse because it was very meaningful for me.
That's beautiful.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. I look forward to going through the comments and seeing what else I missed, what else you saw, what you wrote in there, because I missed a lot of it. But thank you for being here. I hope that our readings were helpful. I hope that you got something out of them. And like Gerald was saying, there probably are things for you in readings for other people too. That's always the case. I know that there's a lot in the readings for me from all the readings. There's always something that I can learn from pretty much every reading that is done on this show.
Yeah.
So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you next time. Now, let me see if I can set this up so that I don't screw it up.
Thanks, everyone.
And all right, we're going to be going now.
Good night.